We brought the numbers to tell you that Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't dead. Make sure you guys smash the and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we have some February 2024 sales by series numbers for you today out of Japan, of all things. And yes, I apologize for the Google Translate on this sort of data here, but let's dig on into this here. So Pokemon leading with 15 billion copies sold for cards. That's up 270% from the last time last year. So last February 2023, Pokemon 15 billion for the month. Wow. Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Coming in at number 2 now. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG with 6.7 billion, putting it at 115% compared to the last year. It's actually pretty interesting to know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is doing, actually so well. To be fair, I mean, though, Pokemon in comparison to Yu-Gi-Oh! A big difference, by the way. If you're like, how are the two titans doing? And it's like, well, in Japan, Pokemon is just leading by about, 7 billion? I mean, nothing too major to really talk about there. Now, for the One Piece enthusiast out here, it would appear that One Piece has 3.9 billion, and it's up 265% compared to the last year. Now, let's be honest here for a second. You know that One Piece has been blowing up hugely, all right, in both parts of the world. Also, their price support, these cards hitting, these crazy numbers out here. Like, I definitely underestimated the turnover power that you would actually be seeing for One Piece. Like, the community is insane for the game, and I guess the gameplay mechanics are also pretty good. A lot of people genuinely very interested in the game overall, and if you're pushing, it's a fraction of Yugi still, though. I mean, you're down by 3 billion at this point, but I just proves that Bandai is having issues keeping up with supply and demand on the game here, especially with these older sets. And then, here in the West, OP05 got cratered so quickly. When you're looking at this, it's something. So I guess kind of keep that in mind, in terms of your numbers. Now, Duel Masters. Somebody's going to be like, wait, Duel Masters still exists? Yeah, in Japan. It's a very, very popular game in Japan. Duel Masters had 2.4 billion, which is up 116% compared to last year, actually, which is kind of not bad, actually. Duel Masters, compared to One Piece, it's there. It's tightening. Still number 4 best game out here, which is pretty impressive, actually. I would love to be able to go to Japan just to kind of dabble in some of the Duel Masters, just to kind of see, what they're doing and so forth. And then there's Weiss Schwarz. Now, Weiss Schwarz had 1.2 billion, which is 105% compared to last year. Pretty much, I feel like staying the same at this point in time. But the thing with Weiss, though, is it pulls from so many different IPs, and I think that's a thing that definitely, I think, makes the game stick around and at least keep it interesting. Is, if you're pulling from, Guilty Crown, for example, that hasn't been in print for years, and you turbo on up here to the current juncture in time, and it's like, hey, Oshi no Ko exists now. You can play those against each other, all right? They use the current popular anime to continue to fuel into these sorts of things. And then they also have things for the old vintage collectors that want to collect these older cards as well. So it definitely pulls everybody in here and goes, hey, you're able to get everything that you want here. Now, what about the new Dragon Ball trading card game? Well, the new Dragon Ball game is at 800 million copies, which is actually pretty impressive, actually. Let's clap for it. The new Dragon Ball game actually is a huge success in Japan. It has been crazy to see. And, you know, I don't know what it is, but people really just want the chance. I believe they have an online client finally that you can actually play officially. So about time. Like, I mean, to be fair, if you've got two titans in the top cut here, you know, one being One Piece and another being Dragon Ball, they're doing pretty solidly. Now, how is Magic the Gathering doing here? Now, it looks like Magic had what, like 400 million, up 44% compared to last year. I'm not going to go too far into the Magic the Gathering stuff because you've got plenty of Magic the Gathering people to talk about this, but after, you know, their pretty terrible decision-making skills that we saw, you know, in the previous years, you know, Wizards has had to find a chance to kind of push itself back together. And I mean, to be fair, Magic was what, like number 6, so it's not like it's really fluctuating too much, but it's not huge numbers. And the Vanguard, 400 million, up 131% compared to last year. You know, we have a Vanguard channel, Vanguard 40, where we talk about, well, we play the game over there. Vanguard's still one of my favorite games of all time. I love the ideas and things that you're able to do with the game and so forth, and that's actually kind of cool. Battle Spirits. Wait, Battle Spirits is still a thing? Yeah, 300 million copies. 175% compared to last year in terms of updates. Battle Spirits is very good for the amount of collabs that they do on the Japan side of things. Anybody else notice here? Bandai has 3 games in the top here. That's, okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel, 300 million copies. Wait a minute. So you're telling me we had 6.7 billion for original Yu-Gi-Oh! And then Rush Duel only had 300 million. Why is Konami pushing Rush Duel then? Had a 112% increase from last year. Well, I mean, more the Rush Duel is their subsection to get younger players into the game, actually. So think about that. So, a little side notes for this. Overall going well. The new Vanguard series has active single sales, which is very, very good. That's helping. Dragon Ball is out of packs, which is kind of an issue, by the way. I don't know if you know that or not. They have had some very, very rough times trying to keep Dragon Ball in stock. Gundam collaboration boosters are popular in Battle Spirits, which is very true. Battle Spirits, I think the thing that helps Battle Spirits out very, very well is the collabs. 150%. All right. They hit some of the coolest collab stuff, and it definitely helps their sales. And then Build Divide. Now, for those of you that don't know what Build Divide is, it's Bandai's, I guess, answer to basically Weiss Schwarz, because you've got Dr. Stone, you've got Jujutsu Kaisen, basically all of we're going to take all the cool popular shonens, and we're going to drop them into this. And if you know Build Divide, or Build Die, whatever it is, does have an English release coming later this year, where they're going to test out, you know, things like Jujutsu Kaisen, and they're going to see, you know, are people going to be interested in picking up these shonen series here in the West? You know, will this transition over well, or is this just going to be one of those cases of, you know, it's going to stick over here? And I mean, if you're looking at that data and you're putting it at 12th place, that's very interesting to kind of think about as a whole. Is, you know, you might not be hitting that popularity mark that you might want to be, but I mean, Bandai's already looking at the cash cow that One Piece is right now, and they're like, yeah, this is what we're doing. And then, you know, you dive down into Dragon Ball, and then you got Build Divide, you've got Battle Spirits. They got they're very, very, very busy at the moment, actually. And I think it's pretty interesting just to see the overall state. And to the people that are like, Yu-Gi-Oh's dying, and it's like, you had sales data from a month ago, and you're telling me with all of your genuine heart that Yu-Gi-Oh is dying? Yeah, no, not at all. All right, this is why we bring down the statistics chart to tell people that they're wrong, and they'll still argue these sorts of things with you. Very, very interesting. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. See your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.